welcome to my craft room. I'm really excited about my first Halloween card. You guys know I do pop-up cards, and Cricut, the one that has the gift, the present, I've already done that and it's on my channel, but I wanted to take the base of that and make it something fun. So here is your front. We've got a witch's cauldron and a scary woods, and she's working on her potion, and she's put her hat and her broom aside because she's working so hard. And then we get to open the card, and uh-oh, I think she fell in. I even put oops on there. Anyway, here is your present pop-up made into a witch's cauldron pop-up. So let's go make it. Here we are on the front page. This is where we're going to start today. First, you're going to go up here to search projects, and you're going to search pop-up cards. Now, I have done all of these intricate pop-up cards. You can find them on my channel, except for the cardinal pop-up card that's brand new, and I'll be probably doing that next week. But what we need for today is the present pop-up card right here. Okay, and then you're going to hit customize, and that will put this onto your canvas. Now, since we are switching this to a witch's card, we're going to change some colors here. First, here's your envelope. I'll talk about this more once we're over on the canvas, but I'm going to move this out of the way. This card is finished. It'll be 5x7. And this color, when you have a score or a pen mark on something, to change its color, you've got to go into layers. I've got it highlighted, so I look for the gray. We're going to pick only the paper, and we are going to change that to the bright orange. There we go. Okay, now let's pull some of these things that we are not going to use. We are not going to use these. We are not going to use these. We're only going to use one. We're not going to use all of these. And we are not going to use this. So we can delete all these. There we go. This is going to be black. Okay, so let's find it. Oh, here it is, right? All of these should be at the very bottom of your list. We're going to change this to the very deep black. There we go. This will change into the black too. We'll do that here in just a minute. Now we need to replace our rectangles. So you're going to go in here to shapes, hit a square. There we go. Then you're going to go to edit. Unlock the button between width and height. The width on this is going to be 4.5. And the height is going to be 6.5. The color, we'll pick this light purple. And we need 3 of those. So you're going to go to Actions, Duplicate, Duplicate. Okay, one is going to be your cover. And the other 2 are going to be your inside. Oh, you can see I was looking all your stuff up there. So now it's time for us to get your images. We're going to go down here to images. If you have never looked up a image by their code number, then everything starts with a hashtag capital M. And the cauldron is 3568C739. There it is right there. And you're going to click it. It's going to put it down here by add. Now, you see I've got a list of all of your images. Grab all of those. Get them all put over on your canvas. And I'll meet you over there and we'll get them all fixed up. I'm going to fast forward from here. Now here we are on the canvas, and you've got all of your images here. So let me separate these out so we can kind of see what we're doing. First, let's go ahead and get your quarters done. Let's see, first we're going to ungroup them. Okay, because we are not using the back one. So we're going to delete that. And these corners are going to be 3.85 wide. So you're going to go into edit. Oh, look, they're already the right size. Look at that. That's close enough. These are going to go right here. So you're going to need 4. 1, 2, 2, 3. Okay, there is your inside. Okay, I'm going to pull this out so it's easier to see. And the Happy Halloween is going to be 3.35 wide. 3.35. Oh, look what I did. When that happens, you know that you forgot to relock your button in between your width and your height. And it's going to be 3.35 wide. Your rocks, we are not going to need the green part. I'm going to go into layers. And since I have it highlighted, it should come up as gray. There it is. We do not need this layer. So you can either delete it or I'll just hit the I button. Okay. And we will do all these colors. If we need to change them, we'll do that later. And the rocks are 2.15 wide. Oh, we need 2 of those. So we're going to go to Actions and Duplicate. But we want to turn this the other way. So we're going to go to Edit. And way over here on the right, you'll see horizontal and vertical. And I'm going to turn this horizontal. There we go. So one's going to be a little farther back into the background. Our cauldron, where is it? Ah, here it is. We'll do the hat and the broom last. Okay, let's find the cauldron over here. We do not need this back layer. There we go, just like that. And the cauldron is 2.3 inches wide. So edit 2.3. And there you go, just like that. I'm going to arrange this to bring to front so it's out here in the front where we need it. Let's go ahead and do our tree. We are going to have to unlock this button because I need it taller. So it's going to be 1.75 wide. And then it's going to be 5.6 high. 5.6. There we go. And it's going to come right down here. Like that. Now, if you want to scoot yours over and have the whole thing on there, hey, or later on when we get onto the canvas, you can cut off the extra. We're going to need 2 of each of these, one for the front and one for the inside. So let's go ahead and change these up. And this isn't going to change. All we're going to change on here is the bow. So we're going to go in here to edit. Going to go into layers and let's go find our broom. There it is. And this we are not going to use. We're only going to use the solids. And I made these the same purple as everything else, which we will turn, which will change and make sure everything matches once we get to the very end. And this is the little circle that goes in between. And the handle, I actually turned this to a dark brown. So it would pop up off the black background there, like that. See? Now the two that we need for the front are going to be the 2 smaller ones. Now, so now I'm going to duplicate one for the inside, duplicate one for the inside. This one is going to be 1 inch high. Make sure that you relock your buttons, your button in between. There we go. And your broom, the smaller one is going to be 2 inches high. There you go. Your cover's completely finished. Now we are going to do this. This is going to be, these are going to hook into here. And this is going to be what you are going to connect inside your pop-up. Okay. All we want to do is turn this to black. Okay. The very black. And then we're going to duplicate it because we need 2. Once we get onto the canvas, you will see that I went ahead and cut mine. So you're going to cut that bow right off. And you're only going to use part of it. But you'll see once we get over on the canvas. So there you go. Those are done. Okay. Now your insides. On the inside, obviously, we do not need a cauldron, because we're going to use the square as our cauldron. So let's go in here to layers. We're really only using her legs from this. If you look close, hold on, let me pull this up so you can really see. You see how she's got 2 tones to her legs? We're not going to worry about that. So first, we're going to get rid of the half leg here, which is the darker green there. There we go. So you've got a nice solid. Then we need to get rid of all the cauldron. There we go. Now I'm going to ungroup this really quick because then it'll make it a little bit easier. I'm just going to pull all of these down and hit the I button, just like that. Okay, on the witch's legs, of course, this is your choice. I did the stockings in the same orange. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to do the bright orange color. And then same with this guy. There we go. And then her bows I did with, I can do them all in the same color purple. It doesn't matter. So I'm just going to pick one. Exact same purple, so it doesn't matter. I am going to go ahead and group them again so we can figure out our sizes. And it's going to be 3.5 inches wide, so just a little bit smaller. There you go, your legs are done. Your hat is going to be the same, and it is going to be 1.35 inches high. 1.35. There we go. And your broom is going to be 3 inches high. There we go. Now, that's all of your insides of your, except for we need your fire. So let's go find this guy. There he is. We don't need his cauldron, so we're going to get rid of that and get rid of that. And this is going to be 1.9 inches wide. 1.9. There we go. And you're going to need one for each side of your box. So you're going to need, go to duplicate. 1, 2, 3. That gives us 4 total. There's only one thing left. Well, actually, we've got 2 things left. So let me show you what I did here. Whoop, I forgot I had grouped those all up. So hold on. Let me fix this for you. I'm going to grab the cauldron that we're working on. Don't change the size. Don't do anything. Just find it. Okay. What we need to do is I need some more of this poison, whatever she's making, her brew. And so I'm going to duplicate just it. There we go. And then the back side of it. There we go. So I'm going to group them together. And I need 2 different sizes of these. 2 inches wide. And I need 2 of these. So then I'm going to go into actions and duplicate. But I also need another one to make the smaller one. So you need 2 of the bigger ones. And then the smaller ones are 1 inch wide. So you're going to go in here and half the size. And you're going to need 3 of these. So we're going to duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. There you go. Now you've got all of your inside stuff done. The only thing we have left is your bats. And they are 1 inch wide. And some of this is going to be personal choice on how many bats you want. And let me show you what I did. I just thought it was funny to put oops on there. I have a special needs adult son, and he just thought it was hilarious. So I kind of did it for him. But if you like that, Then let me show you what I did. I put up a text box. I wrote out, oops, with the exclamation point. Then I went down here and I changed it to Annie Lou, which you just put Annie in here and it'll pop up right here. The oops is 1.5 inches wide. Oh, and of course that's going to be the super black. Okay, I'm stuck. There we go. Let me move him out of the way. Because before we duplicate these, I want to make sure that it's it's the darkest black, because that's the one we're going to turn everything into. And then, of course, this is just a matter of however many that you want. I had 5 on one side and 3 on the other with the oops. So I had 5 on this side. And then, wait, let me duplicate one more and then bring this over. And I had 3 on this side. If you're not going to put the oops, you might want to put a few extra. If you want to really write something long, then you want to maybe put fewer. And then there's your envelope. Now let's check our colors. So we're going to hit sync here. Okay, we want all the blacks to be the same, which is this straight 0, 0, 0, 0. And you see all these different colors. What you do is you hold down these 3 lines and then you drag it into the color that you want. We've got a bunch more. Oh, we missed his corner. Let's move him up. And our happy Halloween part, and the 2 hats. There we go, just like that. And then, of course, your greens are your choice. Now, what I end up doing was I made the rocks, instead of brown colors, I made them gray. These 2 double rocks right here, I'm going to make these the same color as the cauldron right here. Okay. And then we're going to come back and change those to other things of gray. We'll do that on the other part, okay? And I want all of my purples to be the same because I am all about cutting the least amount of mats. And it doesn't matter if this is the exact purple that I'm cutting, because all I'm doing is telling Cricut to cut everything out of this one purple. So as long as it's all the same purple, that's all I care about. There we go. We got our brown broom, our fire. Let's make all the oranges the same. The happy, that's going to go down here with our card base. And so is the back of our flames. You see these? Okay, these are the fronts. These are the back. These up here are the fronts. And so we're going to make everything the same. Yellow too. Okay, so we're going to move all these flames, and it just depends on what's easier. All of these need to be yellow anyway, so let's go ahead and change all these to yellow. See the ones with the little cuts in them? Those are the ones we want to turn to yellow. Okay, and just keep doing that until you get them all yellow. Okay, the only thing we need to do is change our colors for our rocks. So we're going to go in here to light. This one, I used the lightest gray right here. And this one, I used the medium gray right here. See? And our other rock, there he is. Okay, this one is the lightest right down here on the bottom row. This one is the medium. And we already have that one as the darkest. So there we go. There's the rocks. Then everything should be good. And there you go. So go cut all these out. And then I've got a couple favors to ask. I need you to go ahead and put and glue together all of these guys. This will make it a lot faster and a lot easier once we get on the canvas. And you don't need to watch me, glue together all these little tiny pieces. You're way better than that. Go ahead, get all these cut out, go glue those together, and I'll meet you over on the craft table and we'll get it put together. Okay, we're here at the craft table. So let's get started. Thank you so much for going ahead and gluing all this stuff. I put everything on paper plates and kind of keep everything separate. It's just easier for me to stay organized. envelope. I bought an extra large ream of copy paper. It's 12 by 18, where I can make the 12 by 12 envelopes out of. I also have this. This is a very standard size of envelopes. There's tons of places to get them. Okay, glue. I use Art Glitter Glue. It dries clear. It's really good paper to paper glue. Easy to clean up, and a little bit goes a long way. Both the ream of paper and the glue are linked in the description. Okay, first, let's get our cover done. Okay, the first thing you're going to need is the tree. And it's going to butt up right against the side of the card. We are trying to get some depth to this. The witch is out in the scary woods, and she is doing a potion or a spell. I have mine about a 1/4 inch from the bottom, and all these tree branches are going to butt right up against the side, just like that. See that? Let's do our rocks. Our rocks are going to also set back some. Okay. They're going to be opposite like this. Okay, I like my these rocks on this side right here. I'm going to hold down one side, throw on a piece of glue. Then this one is going to be farther back even a little bit, which means higher up. And it's going to be very close here to the edge, probably 1/8 of an inch or so, just like that. Okay, and then our cauldron, as you can see, I messed up earlier. You will never know because we're redoing this. I recut everything, so everybody makes mistakes. It's not a big deal. Okay, this guy is going to go over here to the right, and his feet are going to be at the exact bottom. Why? Because I want it to feel like it's closer. And then your hat. Okay, so let's do our hat. It's going to kind of go sideways, just like that. Okay. So it is going to go kind of like that. So it looks like it's kind of sitting on top of the rock. Okay, this one, I'm going to put the handle just to the left of the hat, so you've got a kind of a good thing, but you still want it to look like it's leaning. Okay. And you want it on the same ground as your rocks, so you're going to make it stop where the rock stops, just like that. Let's get this part down, and then we'll add on our letters that we couldn't get. If you have any letters that you couldn't fit on, you know, you're probably a better letter person than I am. Okay, now we said about even. It looks pretty good right there. Okay, I'm going to add my Y for my happy real quick. There we go. If you've already done these little pieces, then just skip ahead, and we're going to start on the inside. All we got left is to do these little bitty bats, and then your cover is completely done. One of them goes right here in between. Okay. And there we go. Just like that. And there you go. There's your cover. But we're not going to attach it to the card yet. Why? I wait till the very last, because if you mess up in a different part of the card, then you don't have to redo the whole cover. And here's your spider web pages, and we need to get these glued down. Okay. Now, these are going to be the same as your front. They're going to be about a 1/4 inch all the way around. Okay, let's go ahead and get these put on the inside of the card. I know these pop-up cards look complicated, but they're not really. And we're only using part of the present pop-up, like we discussed on the canvas. So that makes it easy. This back one, you don't have to worry about your glue placement because there isn't the cutouts. There we go, about 1/4 inch all the way around. Let's just make sure we keep the glue out of that kind of spot where the cutout is. I mean, it's not imperative if you get glue there. It's not a big deal. We're done with the middle. Now, first, here's your box. Let's go ahead and get it folded up. There we go. And these tabs on the bottom are going to be folded inward, which I'm going to do here in just a minute. It's easier to get all this stuff done while it's flat, just like that. And this one goes inward also, just like that. Okay, and then let's glue it together. There we go. Now you're going to match up the end to your score line. Okay, now with these, it's all about closing the card. And you have to make sure that the card is going to close good. So after you glue that, while the glue is still wet, we're going to kind of make it flat. And that gives the paper a chance to kind of move around and be exactly where it needs to be. And look at that, you've already got your square. Okay, before we go any farther, I want to show you, you're going to laugh. I want to show you what all I did to make sure that this was going to work. This is my test subject. And these are all covered with Scotch tape and glue. But here's the problem. Once your card is closed, you can't have anything sticking out here. So I had to, let me pull this back so I can show you. I had to figure out where every one of these things went in this box. So when you folded the card, none of it would be on the outside. So while there's some leeway on all this other stuff that we've been making, there isn't a ton here. You've got to kind of, and you can keep folding it and making sure that you've got it in the right spot. And that's one of the reasons why we're going to go ahead and glue our box down. Okay, see that from above? Let me put it right in the middle. Can you see your tabs in there? Okay, since we need one on either side, this fold and this fold, we're going to put exactly on our score line on our card, just like that. So now you're going to put glue on these tabs. Now, normally you build all this and you add it at the end. But with this particular one, it's hard to get your fingers down to put some pressure on this glue so it will stay good. So we are going to have to build inside, but we don't have much to do, so it's going to be easy. Now you're going to pick the middle, you know, close enough. You're going to put one corner on the score line and you're going to put the other corner on the score line. Make sure they're lined up really good. And then you're just going to take your finger and push down on your tabs inside. There you go. Okay. Now on these, remember I told you that we were going to have to do a little surgery on these. I have something funny to show you. These are my original Cricut tools. Look how funny they are. See the logo? Okay, first I'm going to use my big scissors. I'm going to completely cut this bow off. I'm going to cut all the way across straight, right along. Let me make sure you can see. I'm going to cut straight across right along here. Okay, because we do not need a bow, but we do need these little guys. Okay, just like that. Doesn't have to be exact. Then you see this little slot right here? We don't need that. We're going to cut both of those off. I'm just going to cut these little hooky things off. Slots, slits, I don't know what you want to call them. Okay, and then once we do that, these are going to go in here, but I need a little, and so we need little slits for them to sit on. So you're going to take your scissors and you're just going to cut a little bitty slit right there. Do you see it? Okay, and on this side too. Just like that. And then they are going to go, this is going to be kind of the front of your card over here. Okay, these go on either side, and then the little slits that you just made are going to slide into the paper. So hold on, let me get this side started, and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. What I've got slid down. You see that? You see how it's I don't know if you can see that. You see how it's lower? This one I haven't. I'm trying to get the little things lined up. There we go. Now, do you see that? And I've got it locked in because I made those little slits. Okay, we're going to do it again to this one. There we go. We cut off the bow. We cut off the little hooks. And there we go. And then right here in this corner, you're going to make a couple little slits. One. This is to make it stable. Okay, then I am going to slide this one in the other slot. We don't need the ones going the other way, so we're good there. Okay, there we go. Do you see how those are? Now, I am going to close my card, make sure everything's in the right spot, and look at that. You've already got a pop-up made. You are doing great. Okay, now we are going to do the witch's body the witch's parts first, except for this back green. So I want you to take one of your big dark greens and we are going to glue it right there as your background. Do you see that? Okay, this is what we're going to hook the witch's hat to. Okay, so this is going to go right in here. So now you got your back in, and now we're going to attach our hat. Now the hat is going to be almost right in the middle and almost exactly up and down. Okay, I'm going to hook it to the top curly Q where you can't see it, the curly Q anymore, just like that. Can you see that? So let me put it on, and then I'll get you a really good look once it's already glued on there. Okay, I'm going to put some glue on the little curlicue thing. Do you see that? Let me see. I want to make sure that you can see that really good. I just kind of covered up that top, curlicue thing. There we go. Now, every time we add something here, we are going to close the card because we want to make sure everything is fitting okay inside. See? You see where nothing's coming out? But it is so close. Let me see if I can show you this. Do you see? You see where the hat is? So we're getting very close, but you double check while your glue's still wet. We need our broom. Now, and I'm going to keep showing you this because the spacing is what's so important. Do you see how close that broom comes to the edge? So we've got to be very, very careful. Okay. So on this one, and I'm going to show you from the view from the front. Okay, you see, here's your hat, there's your broom, there's your feet. Okay, so this broom is going to go about 1/2 inch above your support and to the left of your hat. You want to glue the back because you're going to glue this on the front of this one. Okay. You see which one I'm talking about? Okay, and then you're going to put this in here. And he's going to go pretty close up and down. I'm going to do, it's anywhere between 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch up. Okay, let me show you. Do you see that? Okay, it's just to the left of the hat. Now I'm going to close it and make sure that I don't have to push it up. Now I'm going to double check that it's going to fit, and it does, but look how close it is. It's about 1/8 inch. So that's probably as good as you're going to get right there. Do you see that? I'm going to leave it here for just a second so you can see and you know where to put your, I'm going to leave it just like this. Once we put our feet in, which are going to go on your next support right here, what we want to do is hide as much of this mechanics here as possible. So you can easily take one of these light green ones, broom, okay? And I'm going to glue it on the same support in front of this broom right here. There we go. Now we don't want to put too much because you don't want to take away from all your witch accoutrement. Okay, and then I'm going to tuck him back here. There we go. And I'm also, no, I'm not going to glue the broom where he goes. Okay, I'm going to double check. We're good. Okay, I put my light green way farther down into the box. Because again, I don't want to cover up the hat. I don't want to cover up the broom. I just want to cover up our kind of mechanics that we're working on. Okay, the feet. I'm going to bring out my poor little sample again. And here is the front. Okay, you see your hat. You got your broom. Now these are going to go over to the right just a little bit. And again, let me show you. When you close it, here's one of your feet. Here's the other one of your feet. So we're going to have to be very careful. And let's get this guy in here first. And he's going to be, well, I guess I should call them she because they're her legs, but okay. He is going to be right here. We're going to the next level. And let me double check here. I'm about 1/8 of an inch from the edge of the box. And I've got him turned just a little bit. I'm going to put, and not much of him is going to be on the support, okay? Now, it's not that, you know, like, oh my God, we got it in the wrong spot. And that's one of the reasons why I use glue on these, because I can still move it around instead of like tape runner or something like that. And the actual edge of the box there. Now, I'm going to double check. Now, see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Actually, I've got about 2 stripes of the stockings. Which, if you can get yours to close without it leaking out, then you're doing really, really good. And that's all that matters. You see? Now. Aha! I did it. Okay. Let me pull my edge of mine out. Do you see where my shoe is at? It's orange, so it's hard to see. It's right there behind the hat. Now, we've got to get the other one out. I don't want it to cover up too much of my hat and my broom. We're going to put a little bit of glue here on the bottom. Again, you're going to have the first 2 stripes. There we go. Okay, now, I'm going to show you this, and I'm going to leave it here for a second. You can go ahead. The legs are lower because these are higher, so we can see everything all at once. Okay, I want to make sure that you can see exactly where my legs are. We need to cover up the rest of our legs. Okay, see this? And we need to make it kind of look like it's, you know, a potion thing. So, okay. First, I'm going to take one of these darker ones and put it to the right of the lighter green. Just a second, let me put it in here and then it'll be easier for you to see. This is really hard for me, because you build these from the top down and you guys' camera is at the top. So I can't build mine the top down. I just glued it to the right of that. Now we need a small, let's do a small light color one. We're probably going to put 2 or 3 across the bottom of these legs so we can cover up our, you know, mechanics. And this one I put down low. It's probably not even going to show. Do you see where I put that little one and it didn't really do much? What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put this one way down here like that. Did it show? Yeah. I want this guy pointing this way because you kind of want to mix them up. So they're not, and I'm going to glue him way down in this box. Just a second and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. I want to hide all of the legs below, but I do not want to hide the legs above. So there, do you see how I did that? You see, I put it way low. So it's hiding my mechanics, but not my legs and all that stuff. And now we need something in the front here to hide these 2 little slit things right here. I am going to just, there we go. I want this round part because it's finished and this is not. Do you see that? I want it because I'm probably going to end up putting 3 small pieces here, including another one of the dark greens. Okay, you can't go over the edges of your box. And I am going to put another one of these right here. And then we may be done. There we go. Just a second, and I'll show you exactly what I'm doing here. Okay, you see that? In the front, just to kind of tie, you don't want just the black box. And if you want to put a few extras, especially in the very back, you know, you can, but I don't really think it needs it. Okay, so you can see all that, right? Now, let's double check everything. Yeah, mine is still folding with nothing out of the edges. And there, look at that. You're done with your cauldron and your witch. Okay, I'm going to stick this in here. We got to the very end, and we had this big, giant, plain black box. And I ended up not liking it and needed to make some fire. So, I know I've already explained this on the canvas, and this is why I do the canvas after we put all this together. So you're just going to put your little flames together and then glue them around this box, and then the smaller flame right there under your cauldron. See how that makes a huge difference? Now it's only a few more things, and then you're going to be completely done. Now, here you have a choice. I did a little oops right here because I thought it was funny. I think we probably already discussed this on the canvas. And I'm going to turn mine just like this. Then you're going to take your little bats. Of course, you know, you want to make sure that you leave a little room for signing. I am going to go ahead and glue these up. And then we'll do the cover and you're going to be done. And look at that. You're done with your inside. And remember, this is going to be your front. So there's your poor witch who fell into her cauldron while she was doing bad things. Okay, the only thing we have left to do is put our cover on. Okay, but we're not going to leave this. I always tell everybody, you guys leave this open for at least overnight, a few hours, something. You are going to have wet glue on here. And you do not want to glue it to itself or to the inside of your envelope. So you want to make sure it's very, very dry. Make sure that you've got it right side up. Okay, you don't want to be gluing this on backwards. Okay, and this again is going to be about a quarter of an inch all the way around. And look at that. Look what you made. Look, how cute is this Halloween card? You did a great job. I am really proud of you.